All right, week 11, college football breakdown here. Good battle early in the day in the SEC. We've got LSU coming off that huge primetime win against Alabama. They're traveling now to Fayetteville, taking on the Hogs of Arkansas. Seeing LSU on the road as a 3.5 point favorite. This line has kind of moved and will move closer to kickoff, as we'll talk about in a second. And total's pretty high as well at 62. Has come down a little bit, but still high total at 62. First thing that we got to get right off the bat in this game, and I didn't expect this to be a factor coming into the week because he did play last week. KJ Jefferson, starting quarterback for Arkansas. There's been some fishy reporting as to whether he's going to play this game. You know, Sam Pittman was almost kind of cryptic in his media availability this week about Jefferson. You know, he did play last week, clearly at less than 100%, and it absolutely had an impact on Arkansas losing that game. While he might not have been his sharpest last week, I would absolutely need KJ Jefferson to be in this game for me to be on Arkansas here. Very underrated as a passer. He's over 9 yards per attempt last year. He's almost mirrored those numbers this year. He takes care of the football. We know what he can do as a runner. He's a very important piece to this offense. And if you're overlooking that, go look at how Arkansas played at Mississippi State when they were playing Cade Fortin and Malik Hornsby. And even at the end of that Alabama game, KJ Jefferson absolutely would need to play this game. With that being said, for the rest of this breakdown, I'm assuming he's going to play the game. I do like this spot for Arkansas. I like it a lot. I think if Jefferson plays, I think they beat LSU outright. You know, the logic is LSU just beat Alabama in primetime. How would they come back on the road and lose at Fayetteville? I think there's quite a few reasons how, actually. I still have major concerns about this offense in particular areas. It really starts up front. The offensive line is not good. They've allowed 31 sacks on Jaden Daniels this year, and I think that says something because Daniels is obviously a very mobile guy. Even last week against Alabama, 6 sacks, 4 the week before when they played Ole Miss. You know, football's won and lost in the trenches. If you can't protect your quarterback, if you can't win up front, I can't trust you. You know, I think Daniels has played much better in recent weeks, and he's had a good year, all things considered. 70% completion. He's taking great care of the football, and we saw last week what he can do with his legs, but just 7.4 yards per attempt. When you can't protect your quarterback, it's going to really limit what you're able to do in the vertical passing game, and I think that's true with LSU. I also don't like their running backs. I mean, Josh Williams is a walk-on that certainly gets a lot out of himself, but he's a sub 5 yard per carry guy. He's not a difference-making talent at that position. John Emery had that touchdown last week, but don't really think he's special either. I know Arkansas's defense has been poor this year. I'm willing to concede that, especially in their back seven. I think their secondary is extremely beatable, and they haven't played the run I thought they would coming into the year. If there's one strength of this defense, though, it is getting pressure on the quarterback. And in this step-up spot, I think they can absolutely take advantage of what's still a young LSU offensive line. And if you can do that, it somewhat bails out your back seven. It makes their life a lot easier. So I think that's the path to stops for Arkansas in this game. We just kind of said it. I mean, KJ Jefferson's going to have to play this game. The bread and butter of this Arkansas offense is undoubtedly the run game. Rocket Sanders, 6.4 yards per carry this year, already at over 1,100 yards. He is a borderline elite running back. And if Jefferson's in there, the balance of this Arkansas offense and Kendall Briles pulling the strings, I like it in this matchup. I know LSU's gotten a little bit healthier in their secondary, but this unit can be beaten. Go watch the Auburn game. Robbie Ashford, who's nowhere near the level of KJ Jefferson, was able to create a multitude of explosive plays in that game. Run defense has been mostly solid, but once again, you're on the road, you're stepping up in competition. I think there's going to be enough there for Jefferson to take advantage of what's still, in my opinion, a beatable LSU secondary. They stepped up well against Bryce Young last week. Maybe that has more to say about Bill O'Brien and some of those receivers than it does Bryce Young. Quite frankly, I do think Arkansas will have success in this game if KJ Jefferson plays. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. Got to know he's in there. Probably going to have to wait closer to Saturday to make this an official play. But if we can get this same number with that confirmation, I'll be on the Hogs here. As far as the total, I would lean towards an over. We're still talking about Arkansas's defense that has been pretty shaky. Clearly, if you watch this video, do think Arkansas's offense should have some success as well. They run at a very fast pace, which would help for that. I'm not really going to mess with that side of it. It's Hogs or pass for me. All right, guys, before we get out of here, I know you see this quarter zip right here. Head over to proud90.com for all your golf apparel needs. With the colder weather now here, they got a great selection of hoodies and quarter zips for you. If you've watched the channel, you've seen me rocking the polos here all throughout football season. Browse their selection. If you see anything you like at checkout, use code FORDHAM. It's going to get you 15% off your entire order. That's code Fordham at checkout. Is going to get you 15% off your order. Support me, support Proud90, proud90.com.